Okay, I'm going to introduce Anna, but I'm not going to give like her resume or anything because this is my friend Anna. This is my hero Anna. She got me like into politics. She inspired me. We started in the Bernie times, and we just kept going. And this woman has so much heart and so much integrity and so much passion. You know, it just keeps me going on those days when I want to hide my head under the pillow and not get up. It's like, okay, but Anna's out there fighting. On her days off, she does the work of about 3 people.
I don't do day off.
No, yeah, right. On a normal work day, you do like the work of 10 people. And this is kind of why I want her to speak. Well, I asked her to speak because I was hoping she could share and inspire and tell us how we can all have her back more and we can help her more.
Yes.
Because this has got to be a team thing, guys.
Yes, please.
It's all of us, and nobody else is coming to save us. And people like Anna are too few and far between in elected office, and we got to have their backs. Yeah.
Cowards, losers, and thugs, go the hell home.
Okay, I totally forgot what I was prepared to say.
That's all right. We got it. We got it, Emily. We got it.
Right.
We can take it from here.
All right, I
love you.
Now.
You are so beautiful. Woo! People know me. They know I speak from my heart, and I normally don't write notes, but there's so much that I wanted to share, and I only have so much time. So I did write some notes, so if I'm looking at my phone, then you know what I'm doing. I'm trying to keep myself on track. This is like classic ADHD brain right here. But a few of the things that I said right off the top, some of the things that I'm going to say, y'all already know. But if you know what I'm about to say, or the things that I'm saying, you're listening to them and you say, I already know that, then you have the responsibility to teach everybody else who doesn't. That is one of the biggest things that we all have here today, that we have to walk away with that feeling of responsibility. But the first thing that I want to say, given that I know that everybody here is already motivated and activated, is that we are all family. And that our mental health is more important than anything right now. And that every single person here is their own person, which means there's not a single person here who agrees 100% with a single person here. Now imagine all the people who aren't here with us today. And it's our responsibility, if we want to take back this country from the fascist dictator that is currently sitting in the White House, then we need to, hell yeah, let's call the truth what it is. Then we need to find the common ground with absolutely everybody that we see, everybody that we're talking to, and even the people that we mostly don't agree with. Start with just sheer humanity and find something, anything, because what I have found over and over and over again, when we are self-righteous, I don't care how righteous you are, but when we are self-righteous, the person that we are talking to will get defensive and walk away and be that much more hardened against anything we have to say. So we are here to change the world, to bring it back, to make this country a safe place for absolutely everyone. And therefore, in democracy, that includes those that don't agree with us. So find that common ground, build that family. And when I say everyone, please remember, I don't only mean human beings. I also mean every single creature on this planet, because we are stewards of this land. We are not dominators of this land. And please, I know we all talk about Indigenous rights all the time, but find some people in the Indigenous communities and hang out with them. Don't just use the quotes and say we're standing on Indigenous land, but go do a sweat lodge. Go break bread and learn what it means to be a true steward from hundreds of years ago and bring back the rights of the Indigenous peoples of this land so that they have all the rights that we do, because currently they don't. And we trot over them every single time their land has any wealth whatsoever. And that is unconscionable. We stand together. So I'm putting my reading glasses on, y'all know everybody. It's getting serious. About some topics that I've been asked to cover. I'm going to start first, and a lot of you already know this. What is government? What is the structure of government? What are the different tiers of government, and what are they responsible for? And I say this because we have a representative government, or we're supposed to. We need to make sure we do. And instead of attacking our legislators and demanding they do what we want them to do, we all need to know what they are supposed to be doing and stand and lift them up and support them in doing that. And making sure that we have the representatives that have our back. So here's what local government does. One of the most important things that local government does. Home rule. This is a home rule state, not a Dillon rule state. Raise your hand if you know the difference between a home rule and a Dillon rule state. I see some hands. I love you. I love you. A Dillon rule state means the higher level governments can basically bowl over what the local levels say. They can tell them, you are not allowed to pass a sanctuary resolution in your city, or I will throw you in jail. That's what happens in Texas. That doesn't happen in New York because we are a home rule state. And every level of government has a right to protect their people, and we respect that. In local governments, ordinances that do zoning. That's really important. You think it's boring as hell? It is boring as hell, and it's also what all wealthy people know, rules, and they make sure they know it better than anyone else, and they make sure it works in their favor. So we make sure that our zoning is inclusive, that it ensures that everybody has a right to live here, that we don't have exclusionary zoning. We still have, in Ithaca, New York, almost 30% single-family zoning, and I am all for single-family homes, but that is different than single-family zoning. Single-family zoning is redlining, and there are deeds in the town, in the city of Ithaca, and I have seen these deeds that to this day still say that you cannot sell that house to undesirable N-word and foreigners. I have read them. Go through your deed, make sure it doesn't have it. Make sure that we have inclusionary zoning so that everybody can afford to live here. That's local government, making sure the roads are taken care of. Those local government. So here's another example of local government. We have a big data center that wants to build right here on Seneca Lake, or Hugo Lake, a mile away from here. Now I'm gonna explain something to y'all. None of us can afford our energy bills anymore. I don't know about you, but I can't afford mine. I met someone last month who had a $2,700 energy bill. The number one thing that is increasing our energy bills right now is the implementation and development of data centers. The entire county of Tompkins County uses 87 megawatts of energy a year. That one facility would use 400, 5 times what every single one of us, every building, every entity uses. Zoning is what would determine what can or can't be built there. That's your local government. We aren't, and going to your local government and demanding that they do things that are the actions of the state government is wasting your time and wasting their time. So what's the state government? State government is 6 months out of the year here in New York. Every state is different. Some states only meet every other year. Some states meet 4 months out of the year. Some states meet 11 months out of the year. New York State, we meet 6 months out of the year. We're in session. That's when we can do bills, and that's January through June. I am not in session right now. I'm writing bills. I'm teaching people about my bills. I'm getting my friends and colleagues to sign on to my bills. I'm encouraging the governor to put my budget bills in her executive budget, which she will introduce in January. So if you want to see things in the budget right now, don't come to me in March when the budget's due in April. Come to me in November. Come to me in October. Go speak to your legislators in September. Write to your governor right now and say no damn pipelines. Now, don't put the money into our budget for pipelines. That's now. Even though the session starts in January, she releases her budget in January. We spent 3 to 4 months going over that budget. We've got about 21 days. We have about 11,000 bills that have been introduced in New York State. We have about 800 to 1,200 bills that pass a year. Now imagine how difficult it is to get every single bill done when you're fighting against those odds. What gets a bill done is hearing from you all. And the bills that are the really good bills are the ones that are written when a person who's a legislator meets with all of their constituents and they hear solutions and they say, damn, that's a great bill idea. And they sit down and they write a bill about it. Now, I know bills are a pain in the butt because they're not like instant gratification. They are an uphill battle, but I'm a legislator, I write laws. That is the tool in my arsenal to make the world a better place. So yes, I have a voice, and yes, I have a podium, but if you really want me to have lasting change, then stand with me to fight for the legislation that I've written in conversations that I've had with you. That is my tool, that is my strength, so stand with me. And I've got some amazing colleagues, some brilliant, brilliant, courageous colleagues. When I was in local government, I said to people, I'm in local government, that's maybe the last phase where, like, you know, I can find courage and there isn't like serious corruption because we have to look each other in the face. But you know, state and federal, that's probably where a lot of corruption happens. You put a human in the room and you put our egos in the room and you can find corruption anywhere. I don't care where it is. Hold everybody accountable. But I'm telling you, I have found some brilliant, courageous legislators at the state level. And I'm gonna read, and I want everybody to take out their phone, hold it up because I'm a teacher and I'm giving you homework. Everybody, hold your phone up. I want it in your hand because I'm giving you notes to take. And I'm going to give all of these notes to Emily, who was just talking. I want you all to go to her website, the Indivisible Tompkins website, after this, and all of these bills are going to be here. But I'm going to show you some of the hard work that we're doing because we have been listening, and there are some solutions. And we need to implement them, but we need to hold the speaker accountable. Who is the leader of the assembly accountable. We need to hold the majority leader, who is the leader of the Senate accountable, and we need to demand that these bills are brought to the floor and voted on as a package so that they move. And then we need the governor to sign them so that we are protecting immigrants in our communities, so that we are protecting the working class in our communities, so that we are protecting the environment in our communities. And I'm just scraping the surface because I was only given 10 minutes. So here you go. I'm going to talk about immigrant rights. We have a beautiful bill at the state level, New York for All. And that is a state level, raise your hand if you've heard of this bill, because you are now my messengers and my champions. For anybody who hasn't heard of this bill, this is the ultimate bill in creating New York. The entire state is its sanctuary. It says that you can't ask for papers just randomly of someone on the street. That's super important. It prohibits entities from sharing a person's immigration status information. It bars the transfer of custody of individuals to immigration authorities. It forbids the use of state and local resources for immigration enforcement. We will not use New York State taxpayer dollars to do the federal ICE's jobs for them. They can do their own damn job with their own damn money. It sets up reporting and oversight, so state and local agencies must publish the information of engagement, number of times immigration authorities have requested information, number of times they have requested transfers. We want to see all of that data. That bill is A3506, Assembly Bill 3506, write it down. My housemate and beloved friend, Karina Reyes. That bill is S2235 in the Senate. Here's another bill, access to representation. Every single time a person is arrested, they don't have any representation. Immigration law is super complicated. So they are 80 times more likely to be deported if they do not have representation, and they bank on that. They should get representation whether they have the ability to pay for it or not. And that bill is A270, write it down, A270, A141. Here's another bill, dignity, not detention. Dignity, not detention. And it prohibits state and local governments in New York from making or renewing contracts with ICE. We have governments, and we have sheriffs who are elected, who have signed contracts in New York with ICE. I was in Madison County just a week ago, and I was on a farm talking to migrant workers on that farm, and not a single person had told them that their sheriff had signed a contract with ICE to hunt down people and hand them over to ICE. We've got to make sure, totally unacceptable, but it's up to us to tell every single migrant worker what's going on in their community. We need to make sure that when they need a doctor's appointment, we drive them. There is something called Roderos, and they take $100 every single ride for a person who is too scared to drive themselves to go to Walmart to get themselves food, to go to a doctor's office, to go to a doctor, to take their kid to school. Unconscionable. Look at how many people are here. We can give rides. We've got cars. They need a ride, we take them. We protect them, because here's something crazy that you might not know. The driver's seat of a car is technically considered not private property, it's considered public. But the rest of the car is considered private. So if the person driving is a white person like me with blonde hair, I should be the one driving, because they're not going to pull me over, even if every other person in the car is a person who's a migrant worker or an immigrant. Did y'all know that? Now you do. Here's another bill. Build Act. It's freaking amazing. For every single nonprofit that does work protecting immigrants in our communities, it gives them money to do workforce development, to build up their workforce, to make sure they have the funds to protect all of the immigrants in our communities. That bill, A2689, write that down. Those are some of the most important bills that we have in front of us that we all need to support. I know that it is an uphill battle, but what we need to demand is this. We used to, in the Assembly and the Senate, we used to do packages of bills. And we would demand that they do all the bills in one day as a package. And we call these bills the People's Package. They could take every single one of these bills as a package and pass them the first week in January of the legislative session and get these bills signed. That's what we demand. And we tell them, you believe in affordability, you believe in economic development, I'll use Republican language. They pay $1 trillion in taxes a year. $1 trillion, immigrants in the United States. We are all immigrants. Screw that. We all are. They are family. They are us. We are them. Here's something that we need to do. We need to take back the wealth in this country. We have seen a leakage of all of the money into not even the 1% anymore, but the 0.1%. We have the #1 billionaires in the country live in New York State. Unconscionable. Who the hell needs $1 billion to live? No one. No one. I carry the billionaire's tax. Every single one of us who owns a house, we pay taxes, property taxes on our home every single year. We haven't sold our home, it's not capital gains, but we pay taxes every single year. But if you're wealthy enough and you put it into a boat or you put it into a $2 million painting, you never, ever, ever pay taxes on that until you sell it. But what they do is this, and this is a trick they do. They take those large purchases and that wealth, and then they go to the bank and they get really cheap loans, way cheaper than any of us could get, because they're so wealthy the bank wants them. And then they play in the stock market with the loan from the bank while they maintain the property and the wealth in that product. That's unconscionable. They make the wealth off of all the playing that they do on the stock market with all of that loan money. They keep the wealth in that boat and that painting and the third boat and the fourth boat and the plane. They die with it. And then they pass all that wealth on to their kids, and that wealth is never, ever taxed, ever. Capital gains then is never paid, so it goes generation to generation. There's an heirs tax, there's a billionaire's tax that would balance that out, that exists in the Invest in Our New York package, and that will also be on the website. I'm gonna give you 2 more really quickly, and 1 more environmental. Stock transfer tax. They transfer. They make $1 million every second. Every single one of those transfers used to be taxed. Now we rebate it back to them because we're too scared. Stop rebating it back to them. We keep that. We distribute it out to all the services that we need. The New York Health Act. It is not a progressive pie in the sky. It is pragmatic and practical. It takes all of the the federal dollars that we get from Medicaid, Medicare, all the benefits that go into CHIPS for children's health care. We pool it all into one fund at the state level. All of the employers who can pay into the system, they pay into the system. We have small income tax that pays into the system, and that huge fund creates universal health care. Screw the federal government, they can't play with us anymore. The New York Health Act is universal health care. It is the right way to go. And here's one last thing that I will say. I have a whole entire package on this that I can't read you right now because of time. They are taking away women's rights to choose with their body, and I'm so fucking sick of it. And every single one of us should be. We have about 8 bills in the legislature that would protect women's right to choose and protect their body, and I want every single one of you writing op-eds. I want you writing to your legislators. I want you demanding all your friends around the state to demand their legislators sign on. Make us do these bills. And I'm going to say one last thing about affordability. By the way, please get in touch with my office or Indivisible to find out how you can stand up, and the information that I have, because I've spent 10 years studying data centers. We have to all stand together on that, because that will redirect all of the wealth to one company that doesn't live here, and we believe in local. We believe in local. We want local jobs, and this will not create it. But we talk about energy affordability, and that is the last thing that I will say. Trump wants nukes, and he wants natural gas, because that will make money for his friends. Every single nuke, there's been one nuke that's been built, nuclear plant that's been built in the last 25 years. It was supposed to be $17 billion. It cost $30 billion. It took over a decade to build, and it was all paid for by taxpayers. Do you think that's energy affordability? Because I don't. That is not energy affordability. Pipelines. The pipelines that they now want to build, $200 million a year, every single year, until it's paid for by taxpayers. I'm not even talking about the environmental impacts, which are horrifying, but y'all are here, so y'all know about them. But you want to push back in their language? Talk about energy affordable, because that doesn't sound energy affordable to me. That is not building in and supporting our system. The one thing that will is building renewable energy infrastructure, because it'll give us energy independence, so that we are not dependent on our national fascist government, and we are not dependent on other fascist dictatorships around the world. Energy independence, build our scoping plan, that's true energy affordability, and that protects our environment. And oh my God, why are we making that extraneous? Because we are at the cutting edge of falling off the cliff of an environment that can no longer sustain humanity, because we are destroying it because we're obsessed with convenience. Our motto should be, how much is enough? What makes happiness? Breaking bread with your family, taking a hike outside, not another piece of consumerism, having our family and having our friends and having each other's back. That's all we need for happiness. That's all we need for happiness. So let's stand together. I love you all so much. I will keep fighting for you. You fight with me. We fight together. And we will fight this dictatorship until he is gone. I love you.